Hello, beautiful girls. I am here to share a quick, short story time of how I went from being a full-time stay-at-home mom to being a single mom, and my advice that I wish I had when I was still a stay-at-home mom in a fully committed relationship raising my daughter. But welcome to my page. I am Pregnantbaddie. My name is Liz. Didn't really think I would take on the YouTube thing. However, I kind of just started it because of my Depop, Pregnantbaddie. If you're looking for some cute clothes, go over to Pregnantbaddie on Depop and check out my closet. But I just felt inclined to share kind of my testimony. Yeah, so a while ago, I'm not gonna get too into specifics because it kind of ended off in a legal thing where, you know, this person went to jail. It was all over the news, and unfortunately, tragically, minors were involved that weren't my minors, my children. So I can't really share too much about that, unfortunately, but I will advocate in the ways that I can and just talk about what it was like going through. This was not just a regular separation, you guys. This was a very traumatic, tragic, traumatizing event that happened in my life. And I feel like now that, a lot of time has passed, I'm finally in a place where I feel like I'm being able to find stability and just learning how to be a single mom, and carry both roles and raise, a wonderful child. So yeah, I was full-time stay-at-home mom up until she was 2 years old. And right the same month as her birthday and my birthday, um, it was just so out of the blue. Like, it's just one of those things that you could never even imagine that you would go through. So that was something that I regretted. I almost resented myself for being just a stay-at-home mom, even though I hate saying just a stay-at-home mom because there's so much work that goes behind it and it's so meaningful. But had I ever even known that something like that could happen, just becoming a single mom in general is hard enough as it is, much less being shoved into the public eye and kind of your whole world just comes crashing down. And now you're responsible for a lot more things than you thought you would be, especially at my age. I'm 27, so I'm not that young, but I'm also, you know, carrying on, I feel like the responsibilities of a 40-year-old woman or just person in general, because I really do carry on both roles. But yeah, it was just very sudden. There was no signs that this was ever going to happen in my life. And so the day that it happened, it was just a complete flip. I never even saw this person again. That's how severe it was. And now that some time has passed, now being a single mom, I feel like I'm barely really establishing myself in what stability is. It was something that I had to learn very fast. And it was tough because one, you're going through an entire separation, your family just got broken apart, and now you have to learn how to manage everything. And I pretty much had nothing, so really starting from ground zero. And again, a lot of the resentment was actually more not even towards him, it was more towards myself. Like, wow, I wanted a relationship and a family for so long that I made it my only focus, that once I had it, it became my entire identity. I kind of stopped pursuing any other kind of venture, school, work, business. So I really had a very low resume for myself. And I didn't realize how important that was until I went through something where, I would have to go back into the workforce and, provide and do good, not just kind of wing it because I'm not, an 18-year-old. You're working a summer job. Like, this is a completely other thing. You're providing a livelihood for a little person that relies on you. So it was a lot. And again, the way the separation happened, I mean, it was aired on the news for weeks, and there was a lot of police involved, and it was very scary and very stressful. So I think now that some time has passed, I've realized I can't resent myself for every part of it, because I really was not at fault. I mean, it wasn't my choice, for it to go this way. Now that I am a single mom, I'm actually very grateful for it. I still long for a relationship and marriage and all those wonderful things, but during this time where I really had to grow as a person, as a woman, as a mother, and I love what this journey has brought me into, and just so many good goals and choices and options that I have now moving forward in my life for the rest of my life. It's something that I'm always grateful for. But I definitely would recommend, like, if you're a stay-at-home mom, like, just build something for yourself. It doesn't have to make a lot of money right away, but just like having skills. Now I'm pursuing mortgages. For example, that's one of the industries that interests me the most, is mortgages. So that's something that you need to take your time with and get licensed with. So while I work, I'm gonna get my mortgage license, and also like substitute teaching, so I can be near my kids once they're in school, because I wanted to homeschool and do the whole thing. And now, as she's getting older, and I have a little one on the way, I think about, I want them to go to school, but if I can be, close to them in some way, shape, or form, and know who they're around, that gives me a lot of peace of mind. And I have the ability to make that choice for myself, so I'm very grateful. But yeah, that's just a couple of things that I'm doing now, but I'm doing that now as a single mom. I wish I would have established these plans when I was a stay-at-home mom, had some money saved up and just studied financial literacy in general a little better. I knew a lot, I knew a lot about real estate and finances and stuff, but when you don't have your own money coming in and you're fully relying on another person for your livelihood and for your children's livelihood, you just don't think the same. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, I would love me a provider man. It's wonderful. And I think all women, especially stay-at-home moms, deserve that. However, I wouldn't even think about it as like in case he leaves or goes to jail, or something tragic happens. But hey, like, your partner could get sick, or they just get laid off unexpectedly. You just don't know. So just to have that peace of mind that I can come through and help my family in some way, shape, or form, gives me a lot of honor now, which is something I had to learn as well. So diving into my relationship with Christ was one of the biggest things for me, where if I wouldn't have done that, I don't think I would be as headstrong as I am, because I was really, really in a bad place when the separation happened. I mean, like, it's one thing to go through a separation, where it's just me, but it wasn't, and I had a baby, and she needed me, and I felt like I was failing in every way. Like, at some point, even people kind of pointed their finger, like, did you never see this coming? And I'm like, I promise you, if I had any idea that it would be to this extent, I would be prepared, but I wasn't. And I'm not mad at myself for that anymore. However, I do want to share my story so that I can inspire women that, when you have the blessing of being home with your children, don't look at it as I'm just preparing in case, like, he leaves me, but also, it's nice to know that now I have so many things that I can teach my daughter, like from financial literacy to just responsibility, so in a sense, I'm kind of grateful that I had to go through that to get to where I'm at now and be who I am now, because I definitely was not this person before. I was just kind of like, oh, everything's okay, like, this is who I am, stay-at-home mom, and one day I know I'll be able to come back to that for sure. But right now, my focus is being able to self-fund myself, being a stay-at-home mom, which is a big reason behind my mortgage loan officer license, because it's all, 1099, like, work from home type stuff, business. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on how that comes along. Obviously, I'm on Depop, I'm getting my license, becoming a substitute teacher now while she's little, so I have experience. By the time she starts school, I'm like, the go-to. But yeah, I just hope you guys find a lot of confidence in yourself. You know, you can do it. You really can. And sometimes I think about all the free time that I had that I really didn't use. I took it for granted. I really didn't. And that's just me personally. I'm not saying all stay-at-home moms, we take our time for granted, but sometimes I did, you know. And now looking back, I see an opportunity and I don't waste time on it, you know. And also I had to learn how to take care of myself with all this crazy life stuff going on and so many changes that happen so fast. But now I feel like I'm in a really good place right now, and I'm just excited for what's to come. I love my goals, and I love the way things are working out for me. You know, not every day is perfect, or not every day has like a big huge change or update to it, and I had to learn to be content with that, and I am. And I feel like the more I find peace with where I'm at and knowing that it's more of a step-by-step process, sometimes things happen faster. You know. So yeah, follow along for this page. On this page, if you got any good insight from this, definitely leave a comment down below, hit the subscribe button. I have a couple other content ideas. I do want to do a Depop haul because I literally redid my whole closet with, I think, too many dresses. I think I bought like just 2 shirts. But yeah, follow along. I'll do hauls, motherhood stuff. I keep my kids off social media. I'm one of those moms, I know. But it's a scary world out there. I mean, obviously, with my situation, like, minors were involved, and thankfully they weren't little kids, but they were still, you know, minors. And no, I'm not gonna cry. What the heck? That was not the purpose. But yeah, I just think there's a lot to be learned from coming out of tragedy. You know, take it head on. I tried hiding from it. I tried running from it. I tried masking that. Like, it was kind of like that did not just happen. Like, we're just gonna act like that did not just happen, you know, because it was just so painful and embarrassing. And obviously I'm Mexican, so everyone, it was just so much more heavier. It just was. And but now I'm glad that, you know, I put my pants on, and I actually don't have pants on right now. TMI. I just have my hoodie. But I put on my big girl pants, and I said, you know what? Like, what I love about it is it was so bad that like only God could make good out of it, because I really couldn't. Like, me as a human, I couldn't make good out of it. But anyways, I want to dive more into, you know, all those different things. If there's any questions or topics you want to hear more about when it comes to me, let me know. But if you were still watching, I love you. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon. Okay, bye.